Hello, this is Gary Wishon, the Happy Heathen. I'm going to try to do this rage video one more time. I had it up for like a nanosecond and then I had to take it down. I wasn't happy. This is a kind of an important subject for me. Well, not overly important. My life isn't going to end if I don't do this, but see, I've had rage issues that I've worked on and I think I got a control of. Rare is the individual that can get me angry. It takes a lot. It takes a special kind of person. Now, what's true for me is not true for anyone else. If you have rage issues, you're not weak for asking for help. You're not weak for trying to admitting you have a problem. What you are weak is if you just let it control you. Being an asshole doesn't mean you're right. It means you're a fucking asshole. I had to learn that the hard way. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of how I deal with my anger issues. One thing that saved my fucking soul, and I mean it, is music. I am addicted to music. It is my Prozac. If it's Mendelssohn's Fifth, if it's Blue October, I have it. It's Blue October has done more to save my sanity than any doctor probably ever could or would. Hey, and it's drug free. Now, also, I had to look inward. Not just the parts I like. That's so easy. I'm this, that, or other things. Therefore, I'm good. Yeah, could I'd just magnify what aspects of myself that I liked so much that I would turn a blind eye toward the part of me I did not like, that was not likable. The only way you change yourself is to look at the entirety of yourself, not just the parts you like. And if you see something that you don't like, or in my case, horrified me, you change it. It's hard. It is so hard to admit that you're not always right. To admit that sometimes it is you. Bad behavior is like bad BO. You don't always smell it on yourself. It's so much easier to point to someone else and say it's their fault. It gives you that false sense of clarity. And that therein lies the problem. Going snap on somebody, it's not the answer. It's not always the answer. It should never be the first answer. I'm right because I feel this and passionate about it. Therefore, I must be right because I feel this much passion. No, you're probably wrong. You're not always going to be wrong, but one thing to help get a handle on your anger is to realize you're not always right either. You have to examine everything, every situation, every aspect of the situation before you make an act, commit to taking an action. As I always say to myself, stop, think, then act. Acting first, thinking later, that's an assault charge. That is a lot of trouble. I'll give you a good example of how thinking first helps keep you out of jail. I was with my nephew and my sister were at a water park. I'm a polite enough guy not to pee in the wave pool. So I'm heading off towards the bathroom. Now, this guy comes up to me wearing a white Arians Resistance t-shirt. And you know, if you have rage issues like I do, you love justification. Oh, that is so nice. Justification. It's like, I have a reason for having gone snap. See, this is it. He points to my nephew, who to me is my nephew. I don't give a good goddamn what his skin tone is. I don't care what anybody's skin tone. Why does anybody give a flying fuck about skin tone? Fuck. We are so barely evolved mentally. I swear to Gautama, it's so fucking far to go. But at least we're heading in the right direction. He points to my nephew, who's very, very light-skinned African American. Almost giddy, which is weird, because he's standing in front of me, and says, "What is hay?" Now, every fiber of my being wanted to jump right in that motherfucker's face and scream, "He's none of your fucking concern. That's what he is. He's none of your fucking concern." But I saw the situation for what it is. You ever notice how the truly tragically stupid people never travel by themselves unless they can't help it? Asshole had at least a dozen friends watching. I jumped this moron. They jumped me. There's witnesses seeing me jump this moron. Probably surveillance cameras too. I forget what. And then I'm the one that's getting on the wrong end of a circle stomp. Lord knows what happens to my sister and my nephew. If I walk away from this son of a bitch, he gets to play like his feelings is hurt. Then he builds it up and trying to get me to jump him, while I look like the bad guy again. So those two answers aren't going to work. A moment of clarity hit me. Like a good alcoholic, I occasionally have a moment of clarity. 15 years sober. Yay me. I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "Human!" He goes, "What? That kid over there, he's human." And this is not what he was expecting. He was expecting anger. He was expecting fear. He was expecting, I don't know what else, but he wasn't expecting me to say human. He goes, "No, well, what is he?" "Human." "Oh, what part of the human family tree he's from?" "Homo sapien." See, at this level, we have opposable thumbs, fingers that aren't webbed, and high critical thinking capacity. Evolution really fucking rocks, dude. And he is now in pain. He is so confused, I see pain on his face. And he goes, "No, what is he?" "Oh, what is he to me? He's my nephew." See, in my family, when we want to have sex, we go outside the family. Makes family reunions a lot less awkward. See, that's why he's my nephew and not my son. And now I can almost smell toast. I'm having so much fun with this idiot. He is almost he's paralyzed with confusion, and he goes, "No, what is he?" Like I said, he's my nephew. And finally, after a little while back and forth, he goes, Is he Mexican? Well, I don't know what he considers himself to be. What I am in when I am is in need of using the bathroom. So excuse me, and I walk right past him. You should never let somebody else decide what your behavior is going to be. I don't give a care what the justification is, short of defending your life or someone else's property. Going off on somebody is not an option. Then again, had I caught the son of a bitch who tried to molest my nephew, yeah, I would have painted the walls with his blood. My nephew had broken his leg, and he had just gotten his cast off, and we went all over to the mall, and he couldn't keep up with me. I had to pee like a banshee. Being diabetic, you pee a lot. I went to the bathroom. I said, sit here. If you can't keep up, I'll come right back. I come out of the bathroom, and he's hobbling up to me. I said, kid, what's up? I thought you was going to wait. He looks at me kind of bored and goes, some guy tried to get me to go out in the parking lot with him. And all thoughts of humanity just was gone. It was gone. I just had oh boy, I had a calm look on my face, and my mind was racing at 100 miles an hour. I'm looking at everyone around. I said, is he here now? And what happened? My nephew looks at me and goes, what happened? What did I do? I did exactly what you told me to do. I pointed to the meanest son of a bitch in the crowd, and I said, sure, let me go ask my dad. See, this is what made my blood run cold. The guy who was trying to get my nephew to go out in the parking lot, look at some spinning rims for some fucking reason, I have no idea. He walked away. There's a difference between a professional criminal and an amateur. A professional criminal knows to walk away from potential arrest. All the while, each step he takes, he's ready to run. An amateur runs. And when you run, people notice you. And then people can be a witness later on. This was not the first time the guy did this. Well, all the while I'm just keeping a smile on my face, and I'm looking at my nephew where he's looking, and I'm thinking I'm going to people. Oh. I just had to point that out because, yeah, I don't want to come off as this purely peaceful guy. I mean, under the right circumstance, anyone can snap. And I think that's the right circumstance. There's no excuse for something like that. I thought I had to point that out. Looking inward is hard, but it's something that has to be done. We can't evolve emotionally or spiritually until we do. I wish you good luck. If whoever's watching this has anger issues. Goodbye.